Honestly, I think it's a commitment to being bold, and there's an aspect of bravery, knowing that, you know, what's bravery? It's being a little afraid and still doing it anyways, right? So that's people have to make bold decisions, and it has to be the leadership of the institution and the board. And I really want to give that type of credit to the Ursuline sisters. Now you can imagine they have oversight over Ursuline College. Leadership is looking at the order saying, we haven't had a new sister join the organization in quite some time. Our average age is increasing. There's not a sustainability plan here. Let's look at merging with another institution, even though we're not in financial distress. That's where it starts. And then from our end, it's being able to take a risk on an initiative. And this is a lot of work. And when we identified the partner, one of the first things that I did was get to Cleveland to meet with the Ursuline sisters so that they could get to know me personally. So there's a lot of personal relationship building that has to happen to make this go. And I'll give you a great story. I'm in Cleveland now. Now we're in the spring, so we're in April, May, and I'm meeting with Sister Chris, who's the president of the Ursuline sisters. And she says, by the way, I'm talking with you now, but I'm retiring. So in July 1st, there's going to be a new president here. And I was like, huh, well, that's 2 months away. Where are we going with this? So now we're working with the Ursuline board, and the Ursuline board decided they were going to pursue hiring a president to basically on a short-term contract to lead the merger for Ursuline College. And they ended up hiring Dr. David King, a past president who was retired, who came out of retirement to lead this merger. And I will tell you that's one of the best decisions made, because Dr. King has been a fantastic partner in helping with the transition. So Jeff and Michael, a lot of things had to fall in place just right to get us to the next level.
Well, where you just went is actually what's been a point of curiosity for me as I've heard you talk, which is I'm just thinking, not only do the stars have to align in terms of finding an institution that in this case didn't have any debt, right? And mission aligned, good fit, right? Programmatically, not cannibalizing, it was additive and so forth. But also where they saw this as an opportunity on their campus, it was felt at the board level. It was not going to be offensive to alumni on both sides of the equation. I just speak maybe to that change management process when you're, you all are a mid-size college, right? They're a smaller college. How do you get that orientation to say, like, we're going to be proactive about this? We're not going to be souped up by sort of a big institution, but we're culturally, we're excited about this because it's furthering the mission by being with a different institution that's not part of our past.
Well, we set up a strategy. So as we move through the process, Dr. King comes on board July 1st, and we start laying out a communication plan. How do we communicate this progress out? We set a goal of August 24 for an official MOU that we could agree on some points on how we were going to continue the discussions further. We released that out to both of our communities. And then I spent some time on the Ursuline campus. Dr. King came to the Gannon campus, and we were having open communications with the constituencies, because you could imagine that people are automatically starting to think, well, what about my job? Am I going to have a position here? Gannon is a diocesan institution. Is that going to change the culture of the Ursuline campus? We moved right into developing an integration strategy that involved forming 15 separate integration teams made up of members of both Ursuline and Gannon. And Gannon, we hired a integration coordinator from the outside. We hired a consultant to come in and drive that forward so that he was tracking progress of each and every one of those teams, sitting in on the meetings. If there were any fires happening, he would point that out, bring it to the leadership attention, and then we could address it. So that was our strategy to address that change management piece.